For the uncultured or those not in the know, idol hell is where you transcend into a higher flow state, a deeper religion of weeb where you drain your pockets and lose all your value in the dating market because you end up like this. But for those of us in there, it's also a special place where people of the same passion gather to share their love for their favorite idols, and a special place of comfort and happiness that can't really be compared to anything else. Personally for me, idol culture has been a defining part of my life growing up, and I can't imagine having never chanced upon love life when I was at my lowest. So yeah, you may think I'm one of those nerd-ass cherds who are like, oh, this cute anime girl series saved my life and made me a better person, yada yada cringe, right? And fun fact, you are absolutely correct. So if you think I'm cringe and hate my ass, you can click off this video right now and go watch your shonen Naruto Shippuden, cause I stand by the ship that I've sailed on for 10 whole years, and I don't give a fuck about my YouTube retention because I believe in this idol supremacy. Okay, so anyway, what I've said could be applied to a bunch of different idol series, but as the thumbnail of this video may suggest, this is a video about the idol series most dear to me, Love Live, and more specifically, Love Live Sunshine. Yes, I may be Unk, but I'm not Grand Unk yet, because at least I didn't start with Muse. Not sorry to Muse fans. So, for the new gens from the Wild West out there, you may ask, what the hell even is Love Live? So Love Live is a massive multimedia franchise with anime, games, real-life concerts and events and so much more. But for those not too far down the rabbit hole, Love Live is mostly known for its anime and characters mainly. It's about a bunch of students trying to achieve idol stardom through setting up an idol club in their school. And so, for a start, I'll briefly explain its core lore. Love Live Sunshine is about Chika Takami, a girl who lives in the far-out seaside town of Uchiura, where the school she attends is on the verge of closing down, let alone having an established idol club. Chika wants to achieve idol stardom after coming across Muse, an older idol group, after seeing how much they shone on stage. They seemed so much more radiant than someone very much unexceptional like herself. Chika simply wanted to shine just like them. So she starts her own club, gets around recruiting members, and overcomes multiple obstacles. She tries to use the attention that her new idol group was getting to attract the new students to enroll in her school to stop it from closing. But given the location they were at, the lack of funding and expertise they had, and all the odds being stacked against them when they had to compete against idol groups from prestigious schools in Tokyo, there were many obstacles to overcome. So they try and try, but fall and fall over again, each time standing right back up to chase after what seemed like the impossible. The story has many notable key moments that are highly crucial to the plot and its delivery of its message. But in this video, I'm only going to cover its most important overarching plot line, which is saving their school and winning Love Live. So, saving their school is a critical part of their story, and they spend most of the anime working with this motive in mind. It creates quite a build-up, as every arc that moves the story along brings the girls closer and closer to their goal up until 3/4 into the show, when it seemed like they were just about to achieve what they once thought was impossible. They fell just slightly short on the recruitment numbers, and the school was forced to close down. And of course, the girls were devastated and burnt out. They had given their all and shined with all their might, but yet, there was no result, no payout for their efforts. It just wasn't fair. And while it took a lot of self-reflection and encouragement from their peers, they finally decided to keep going, to try winning the Love Live Idol competition, regardless of what had happened, to cement the name of their school in history before it all went down. In the scene right before their final performance, Chika takes out the voting result sheet from their first major performance, where they got a score of 0. She lets the blowing wind take the paper away, signifying that she has let go and forgiven all the faults she took, because now all she had to do was concentrate on what was ahead of her. And then, in the final climax of the show, they finally win it. And after all of this, Chika realizes something. To shine wasn't to have saved their school or to even have won Love Live. It was to have done their best, to have dedicated themselves to something, to have lived in the moment. It was about the process, the experiences, and the people you met on the journey, and not so much the result. And that was the shine Chika was chasing after all this while. The moments where she felt alive. Her shine was everything she had done up to that point. The way they constantly referred to the path that Muse took as a benchmark for Aqours' progress, and constantly falling short when we expect them to make it, really hits hard. Especially for critical moments like saving the school, which should have been a central goal for a happy ending. But I really like how they've turned the plot around in a way that forces Aqours to shine on their own and be proud of their unique experiences they've lived through, to become themselves instead of just chasing after someone else's shadow. It's a great story with a very meaningful message, and in my opinion, the most impactful one in the whole Love Live franchise. Well, I have been a part of the Love Live community for a decade now. It was only on a rewatch 5 years in that I really understood its nuance, so I don't blame people if they don't catch themes on first watch. And also, to be fair, I was like 12 years old when I first watched Sunshine, so yeah, I was probably too stupid to understand it. Anyway, this strong message is heavily reflected in its songs as well. Like, what is an idol series without songs, right? I really love some of the lyrics in these songs, and they are truly meaningful and uplifting. There are songs that are featured in the anime, and these obviously reflect the sentiments of the episodes that they are featured in. But the other tracks outside of the anime also usually sit around this theme, or at least have something equally uplifting to show. My favorite non-anime song would be Kiseki Hikaru, lyrics written by any songwriter legend Akihata, which was actually made by taking the BGM instrumental from the anime and putting vocals over it. One of the lines in the song goes something like, "The times we wanted to throw everything away, but times where things could greatly change." And it really stuck with me, this line. I'm a big fan of the songs written by Akihata, so shout out to her for real. I find so many of her song lyrics pretty impactful and written in a way that is easy to understand, yet full of emotional value. I have so many of her songs' lyrics deeply ingrained in my mind, and I can just straight up sing them without referring to lyrics. Other fun songs include OG tracks like Shoujo Ijo Koi ga Shitai and My List to You, which are more about cute romance than the usual message, but it's still emotional and uplifting in its own ways. And also more recently, stuff like the Yohane spin-off songs, which are also really top quality. Wait, is Sunshine in the Mirror even considered recent anymore? Let me check. Shit, has it already been 3 years since it dropped? What the fuck? Am I really that old now? Am I truly Unk? But as much as the songs, characters, stories are central to the series, I'll have you know that there is something else almost equally important to the Love Live series, and that most people who aren't in the fandom are that aware of, and that is the seiyuu side of the franchise. Love Live counts as a 2.5D idol group, so not only are the characters idols, but the seiyus themselves are the idols too, basically, almost like an alternate persona. They hold live events, concerts, live streams, and much more, and honestly have way more content than what the anime side alone can provide. Anyone who has stepped slightly past the LARPing stage in the LL community pre-2020 would have been immediately drowned in the unstoppable onslaught that was seiyuu sub videos. There was a time when my YouTube feed was all just seiyuu videos, and for a whole last month I just watched nothing but Rikako being a horse clips. Bro, back then I was so clipped, literally. I was an OG weeaboo brainrot maxer for real. Okay, anyway, a big and lucrative part of the series is actually hosting these live events and concerts that the seiyus perform in. These events are super popular, and every Aqours Live is a sellout. To even stand a chance to attend the concert, you need ballot tickets from CDs that you have to buy. So yes, the most dedicated whales do buy truckloads of these just to get a seat in the stadium. Or if you're like me, a gaijin weeb, you can apply in the foreigner package, which includes a hotel stay for a giga upcharge, but even then, it's still kind of lottery based, so yeah. Why is everything gacha? Also, another interesting aspect of Love Live Sunshine is its strong ties to the city of Numazu in Shizuoka, the location that the show is set in. The immense popularity it had at its prime brought people from all over not just Japan, but the world to visit this out in the boonies fishing port town in a random corner of Japan. As you know, with Japan's declining population and whatever young people left moving to major cities for work, smaller towns like these are dying slowly economically. But for a while, Love Live Sunshine rejuvenated the local economy simply through anime tourism, and the whole city welcomed it in. I was there once in 2022, and literally every corner of the city was plastered with Aqua somehow. There was Aqua stuff in the local stores, the hotels, buses, trains, taxis, everywhere and on anything. Even random stores with no relation to the series in any way had Aqua merch placed all around its decoration. I saw an insurance company with Daya plushies in the window. The whole city loved the franchise to absolute bits. But of course, with the decline of Love Live in general and Aqours Finale Live being over, people are starting to move on. Some iconic spots like the themed cafe, burger restaurant, and aquarium are closed, and I'm glad to have visited those spots before they closed. Numazu is still a great place though, and I'd love to return to it someday. On my trip there, I spent 3 days in the area, visited the seaside village and Aoshima Island, and also got to see the most beautiful view I've ever seen in my life. Uchiura Bay on a clear day with Mount Fuji in the distance. Wow. Love Live brought me to places and to experience things I would never have done on my own. Remember what I said slightly earlier about seeing the seiyus perform live? Somewhere last year I went to an Aqours concert, and no, it's not just my first Aqours concert or my first concert in Japan, but the first ever concert, period. I hadn't even been to a proper concert in my own country. That day I finally got to see the seiyus I've idolized for so long in my life, and it was an amazing experience. I also got to meet a lot of cool people there who shared the same burning passion as me. They came from all over the world, from all walks of life. It was really interesting to get to know them, and overall, it was a really fun day. Also, I literally skipped a week of school to fly to Japan to watch it. I had a test a week later and I absolutely flunked it, but it was all worth it, okay? Anything for my idols. For real, for real. Also, that was literally my first and, well, last Aqours concert, by the way, because it was Aqours' finale live, and they basically would never perform on stage again as all 9 members. While I'm extremely sad that they were ending, like I literally cried when they announced their finale live on their live stream prior to the concert, I'm also very happy to have made it to their concert and to have at least experienced it once in my life. This is not copium, I swear. And so, of course, as much as I love this series, there is always a portion of my videos where I provide a little critique to balance the copious amounts of glazing I usually do. And not gonna lie, I feel like fans have more hate towards the series than the casuals. Like, people who know so much about something are more likely to know what sucks about it too. So, here it goes. First of all, Seiyu Idols. While Lentis does a pretty good job, like better than other agencies at least in managing their idols, there are clearly moments where the girls are overworked. The final documentary revealed that post-2020, the idol group lost a lot of its momentum and camaraderie, even until the day of the final live couldn't really be fixed. Well, I mean, at least it ended in a good note with the girls deciding that they give their all for the last hurrah on stage, so still kinda happy, I guess. Also, as much as I say that Love Live Sunshine was really meaningful to me, it's far from perfect. Many people complain that there is uneven character development, and you really do see it with some members like Hanamaru, who basically get sidelined after the first half of season 1, and later only exist to say for cheap comedic relief. There's some undeniably shoddy writing in some arcs' resolutions, and the story is actually full of plot holes if you just give it a little bit of analysis. I mean, it's still better than Superstar Season 2 though. Not sorry for my Liela fans. But overall, what the series offers and does well in outshines all its flaws so much that it's so blindingly bright. If Sunshine is a story about becoming the best version of yourself, then this series is the very embodiment of this spirit in every single way. The series manages to tell its message very clearly and impactfully, mixing uplifting encouragement with realistic and sometimes bittersweet groundedness. As simple of a story as win competition then save school sounds, the ideas that Aqours symbolizes really saved my life. When I was at my lowest, struggling with depression, anxiety, and an existential crisis, I met Love Live Sunshine by total chance, and it gave me the strength to keep going. Love Live Sunshine was there for me, its stories encouraging me to forgive my own shortcomings, to shine and to keep moving forward. Like, guess why my internet name is Hikari? Like, it literally means light in Japanese, the very symbolic thing that Chika had been chasing throughout the story. And not just the fictional story, but even on the Seiyu side, its message pulls through. From the very infamous Rikako piano incident to the equally iconic Anju backflip. Hell, even the group as a whole had to go through some crazy stuff when they first started. Like, they were literally hated on by Love Live fans themselves. See, I proved my point. 3 years into their career, Fourth Life happened, and it was an important moment in the Seiyu's journey, signifying Aqours' achievements as they admitted to the stage that Muse ended on. Also, that performance of Omoe yo Hitotsu ni Nare was beautiful, a callback to the Rikako piano incident of First Life, and a reminder of how far she has come. As much as my idol-rotted brain sims for the girl's heart in an idol fan way, my appreciation for them isn't so much parasocial as it is admiration. Or at least I like to believe. Watching their growth has always been a source of inspiration for me, and I look up to them a lot. To me, their journey to who they are today, shining so brightly on stage, was something I wish I could experience too. I can justifiably say what separates Love Live Sunshine from other series, and it is really how it puts its message across, sometimes even unintentionally. It is not a masterpiece in any way, but it's a strange combination of coincidences that give it so much value and emotional impact. There's a plethora of comments from people in online spaces saying how Aqours as an entirety helped them get through difficulties in their life, and I believe those people are genuinely saying so from my own experience. For myself, Sunshine put me through so many tough times, and no amount of merch spending will ever pay off what I owe to it. And that's why I keep spending it on merch. I'm stupid. It was because of Love Live Sunshine I decided to give life a shot and put myself out there and chase after the things I love. It was a long road, but I managed to get my chud ass into university, learned to make music, and I guess make videos on YouTube now. Like right now, I'm really rolling with the stuff I could have only dreamed of doing back in the day when I didn't even have the courage to start. And you know, I'm not saying that I'm an amazing person now. In fact, I'm far from it, as you can clearly see. But what I can say now that I've experienced it is that whatever Sunshine tries to tell us, it's very true. Constantly worrying about uncertainty only prevents us from living in the moment, from truly experiencing life. It is really only in running towards the unknown in the darkness that we really start to shine brightly ourselves. It's in falling down and getting up again, over and over many times, that will help us learn to love ourselves, that we will find purpose and happiness. I genuinely believe in this. And so, on that note, before I end, I will leave you with a little quote from the final episode of Season 1.
輝くって楽しむこと。あの日、ゼロだったものを1にするために。
To shine is to enjoy life, to turn that day's 0 into a 1. For me, it's always having this quote in the back of my mind that I have gotten to where I am today. So, thank you, Love Life Sunshine, for saving my life.